feeling alone.
Yeah.
Mostly, and wondering what I was going to be able to do. Mm-hmm. You know, things coming up, how I was going to face it if I got sick. Mm-hmm. You know, because living in extreme cold. One morning I woke up, I had probably 10 blankets, and I had a sleep bag that was good for like minus 20 below. But when you're out there in the cold, you have to breathe, so your face is exposed. Mm-hmm. And I woke up, and my tears were coming out of my eyes from the extreme cold, and I actually felt my nose, and I couldn't feel it. I touched my nose, and I thought I almost froze to death.
Recorded at Amplified Studio in downtown Des Moines, Give and Grow is more than a podcast. It's a commitment to our community. Founded by Andy and Sarah Suzanen alongside the RIA Group, this initiative is dedicated to uplifting the organizations and individuals who work every day to make Central Iowa a better place for all. Welcome to the Give and Grow podcast, where we share the stories of the nonprofits transforming lives in our community. Each organization is featured in 3 episodes, offering a deeper, more personal look at their impact. Through conversations with passionate staff, generous donors, and the very people whose lives have been changed by their work, our hope is simple: to connect, inspire, and strengthen the bonds that make our community thrive.
Welcome to the Give and Grow podcast. I'm your host, Siobhan Spain. This is our 3rd of 3 episodes featuring the nonprofit Joppa. Joppa is a faith-based 501c3 organization whose mission is to help the homeless survive, find housing, and rebuild their lives. Sourcing the United Way recent report to the community, although wages increased 4.8% in 2022, the cost of basics for a family of 4 increased 17% in Central Iowa. 36% of Central Iowans do not have cash on hand to cover a $400 emergency expense. Add to that, the city of Des Moines can now issue citations for illegal camping. As homelessness surges to record proportions across the U.S., Polk County recently unveiled a 5-year plan called the Blueprint to Address Homelessness. It encourages a unified approach to investing in innovative solutions for the region while defining 7 focus areas that include strategies such as improving systems for identifying those at risk of homelessness, expanding emergency shelter capacity, developing robust outreach efforts, and what is called housing-focused case management. Details of the plan continue. What makes me hopeful about it is that it seems to address the complexity of homelessness and supporting those in need. I think in general, society is getting better at this. We could just fix the issue of a persistent shortage of affordable housing. However, that alone will not eliminate homelessness. Just as every person is unique, each homeless person has unique circumstances, and it is worth getting to know them and their stories. So today we will get to know Terry Hotaling.
Hotaling, very well.
Who has benefited from several supportive organizations, including Joppa. Terry has experienced divorce, mobility impairments, homelessness, drug addiction, cancer, and getting hit by a car. Terry has overcome so much, and it's my pleasure to welcome him here today.
Thank you very much.
It's great to have you, and it's really nice to meet you in person.
Same as.
Yeah. So we were originally scheduled to record this last week. Do you mind telling us why you wanted to move it?
Yes, I recently got my new teeth, and I can smile nice now, and my face is fuller, and I can actually speak better because with my throat cancer, I'm still a little raspy, but everybody says they understand me much better. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. We're so glad that worked out. What led to you getting teeth? How long have you been without?
20 years.
Oh, more. Wow. Yeah. And
after my throat cancer, I was having a hard time chewing up food, so I was choking a lot.
Oh,
and
wow.
When you choke on food, it's pretty scary. You know.
Yeah.
And there was some times there, I was eating pizza one time, and it got lodged in my throat, and I couldn't breathe, and that scared the heck out of me. So I said, now I got to do something about it.
Yes.
And right after that, I got hit by a car, went through 3 surgeries, my leg got infected. They almost had to amputate it. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
After that, I received some money. It was in Hy-Vee parking lot, and they had it all on camera, and people actually hit head on in the parking lot, and the one veered off and hit me while I'm putting groceries in my car.
Oh my gosh.
And it took my leg and bit over the tire, and I was pinned like that for 5 minutes or more.
As if you haven't been through enough. When was that?
That was 2 years ago.
Oh, wow. Wow. Well,
Actually, it was in February.
okay.
2 years ago.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, I survived the 3 surgeries. My leg got back, and I'm actually walking on it. It's a miracle.
That is a miracle.
I thought I'd be in a wheelchair. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, since we're here to talk about homelessness and its complexities, could you tell us what led you to be homeless, and when did that happen?
Well, they were mailing out Social Security checks to me, and I must have got one too many because I cashed them.
Okay.
I didn't realize was I had back checks because it took a while for them to catch up with me where I was located. And I was in Iowa City at the time.
Okay.
And they sent me a letter about, I would say 3 weeks after that, stating they sent one too many checks, and since you cashed it, you're going to have to pay it back right now or be without a check for a month.
Okay.
And I didn't have money to pay for it at the time, so I was just without a check. And I had a place to live with all my things in it, and I had really good health insurance, and if that would have been taken away and I couldn't have paid that, I don't know what I would have done, because I had probably $250,000 worth of health bills. And
is that due to your cancer?
Cancer and some surgeries, yes.
Yeah. And that was in Iowa City. And then you ended up homeless after that?
Actually, before that.
Okay. So how did you first become homeless? How did that happen?
Well, I have 4 children.
Yeah.
And my one girl was getting ready to go to college, and I was behind on child support.
Okay.
And come to a point where I wanted to pay it, so the courts just said, you have to pay current child support and back child support. And that was 50% at least of my
income,
what I brought in.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, I had enough money to purchase a place to stay, plus groceries, expenses, and a little bit of money in my pocket. Mm-hmm. And I just figured, well, I'd rather have the money in my pocket, and I'm going to have to be homeless. And I lived in a tent for a while. I lived I stayed at a church.
Yeah. Is that in Des Moines?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I thought. What I saw from the Joppa
From the picture, yes.
website. What was it like, if you don't mind me asking, being homeless? Like making that first day of knowing that you had to sleep on the streets?
Feeling alone.
Yeah.
Mostly, and wondering what I was going to be able to do. Mm-hmm. Things coming up, how I was going to face it if I got sick. Mm-hmm. Because living in extremely cold. One morning I woke up, I had probably 10 blankets, and I had a sleeping bag that was good for like minus 20 below. But when you're out there in the cold, you have to breathe, so your face is exposed. Mm-hmm. And I woke up, and my tears were coming out of my eyes from the extreme cold, and I actually felt my nose, and I couldn't feel it. I touched my nose, and I thought I almost froze to death.
Oh, wow.
So, and it's like God woke me up. So,
yeah. And when did you, how did you come across Joppa? How did you learn about them?
I knew about Joppa before, and then during that time I was paying my child support, put my girl through college, and at least helping, and I just heard it through other people, but they had a resource place to go to like they have now, but they were in a different location at that time. Mm-hmm. And I went down there and got the things like they supplied me with a tent, sleeping bag, food, and you were able to come in any time of the week and get some things if you needed them to survive. Yes.
Yeah, that resource
Very nice
center.
People. Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, I was able to tour the space, and
their store. They actually the money that they get with that, it helps a lot. Plus the nonprofit part of it, where the people donate and help out, and it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, it seemed like there were a lot of volunteers there that day that I went to.
I wanted to come and do this because I wanted people to see that there is success out there. You know, that money doesn't go for people that aren't trying, you know.
Yeah.
I can't speak for everybody.
Sure.
But it's like I'm almost, well, in November I'll be 7 years clear of drugs.
Wow.
Never once did I, total abstinence from it. And I got to a point where I guess, you know, until you hurt bad enough, you just won't stop.
So did the drug addiction come after the homelessness or because of the homelessness?
No.
Okay.
I'm not happy to say this, but I have used drugs for 40 years of my life.
Okay.
And I'm now 71. And I worked hard all the time, did my work so well.
Yeah.
You know, and worked for some good companies, you know, over those years. And you would wonder why, you know, financially I'm in bad shape. I've actually worked for 4 different unions. 2 of them went bankrupt. And it's like I had to start over again. And all those years, instead of retiring with one company, one union, I had to switch jobs and start over again.
Right.
And it didn't leave me with any retirement. But being that I worked a lot, I make probably the largest amount, you know, maximum SSI.
Yeah,
So,
Social Security.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I'm able to survive fine on that. I can't buy everything I want, but
Right.
you know,
Sure.
I can survive fine.
Good, good. And you were homeless for 3 years. Is that right?
Pretty much.
Yeah. That's a long time.
Yeah. And I did stay with a few friends off and on.
Here and there.
Yeah, here and there. But you're not going to have those friends very long if you stay very long.
Right.
You know, I mean, it was nice that they helped me out and stuff, but I didn't want to stay longer than a week or 2 at the most.
Yeah. What services besides the resource center did Joppa help you with? Like, what was helpful from them that they?
Well, when I was in the hospital in Iowa City going through my cancer treatment for 3 months, and I didn't get that Social Security check. Mm-hmm. They paid for my rent at American Inn on Douglas.
Yeah.
And see, I couldn't even get money from General Relief because they didn't consider that permanent housing.
You couldn't get it from?
General Relief.
Okay, General Relief.
Yeah.
I see.
Usually they pay a portion, and then you can go to certain churches, Salvation Army, a few of the churches, and to get the rest of the amount that you need. But but General Relief usually pays for, I would guess, 2/3 of it. You know, but
okay.
I didn't qualify because that my housing wasn't considered permanent. That was a
like extended stay.
Yeah, it was like an extended stay motel type thing. Yeah,
yeah. So that made you not qualify for it.
Right.
Is that it? Okay. Yeah, the complexities again. There's just so many.
Oh my gosh, yes. And I would never believe that, but
yeah.
And then I was running out of choices, you know, and help. I mean, you just can't ask for money like that. They also were going to pay my health insurance, and like I said, I think the maximum amount when I went through all my insurance papers and stuff, I had $250,000 of medical bills, and without health insurance, I wouldn't. What would I have done?
Yes, exactly.
So they say, "Oh my gosh, yes, thank you, Joppa."
Yeah,
they helped me survive.
Yeah,
they really did.
So I read about their circle of friends. Is that part of it that was helpful?
Tom Ramaki, we're like great friends now. He doesn't even consider me the way we got together and meet, you know. And he considers me as one of his better friends. And we've done things together, went to hockey games, different stuff like that, fishing. And he's supposed to teach me how to play golf. You hear that, Tom? And and maybe a better golfer, yes. And matter of fact, I went over to his house just this week and got a couple of shepherd hooks and put a bird feeder outside my window.
Oh, nice.
And hummingbird potted plant, hummingbird feeder, and 2 bird feeders. And it's like a little birdie sanctuary.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's excellent. So you have permanent housing now? You've been stable for how long?
Probably 5 years now.
Oh, nice.
And I'm at Valley West Apartments.
Okay.
And it's right behind Valley West Mall there in Target. If you go out Target's back door, you can see my building. And it's got a nice big canopy in front.
And it's affordable housing?
Qualified for the government.
Like the HUD?
HUD housing, yes.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good
And
that
that's a
that's
30-year
available.
30-year income pays for your housing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you think if there was affordable housing, that would fix the problem?
Oh my gosh. Matter of fact, Joppa still delivers to me once in a while. I'll get a few things.
Yeah.
But the gentleman that just delivered this last time, he does a lot of stuff with Joppa. And he asked me, can you get me some applications? Can you help me get some other people in here? And I said, yeah. I said, just come in, Monday through Friday throughout the weekdays and just go in there and let her know and take a bunch of applications with you and have some people that you know that qualify that really needs help.
Yeah.
To fill them out and then return them. And then they'll be put on a call list like I was.
Okay, for these
But
apartments.
my waiting was only to get in there, I think, 3 or 4 months.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's great. So they keep in touch with you, and you know that they're a resource, and then you are able to spread the word that they're a resource
And
to other people.
Joe asked me a number of times if there's anytime you want to do something, like you want to work in the store that they have at the cash register, do some other things. We have plenty of things to do. And volunteer. And I said, yeah, that made me feel good.
Yeah.
Like I'm paying back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You always want that attitude to give back, because you were helped, and now it's time for me to give back.
So I totally agree with that. That's really fantastic that you have that attitude. And I know that you're so grateful for all the things. You overcame so much.
I'm kind of overwhelmed now that it's like, it's been a God thing.
Yeah.
But it's just like, once I quit doing drugs, like God just showered me with blessings. And I guess he wanted that for me my whole life. I understand that.
Yeah.
And I was just pretty strong-willed, and since I never had any adverse, devastating things happen just from the drugs, my health was always good. And until I got that cancer, I think it's like God allowed me to get cancer, so I quit doing drugs.
Isn't that wild?
Yes.
Because that's what made you stop.
Yes.
Is the cancer.
And hurting bad enough, and what it put my family through.
Right.
Yes. My kids today are kind of devastated by it, and all I can do is pray about it and love them,
Yeah.
And I got some beautiful kids out there. They're gorgeous.
Are they local or are they?
No, my oldest daughter lives in St. Paul, Minneapolis, and my youngest daughter lives up in northern Iowa, almost into Minnesota, and she teaches.
Nice.
Yeah, the one that I helped put through college, she teaches elementary school, I believe.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Good,
I don't know
good.
what grade, but I know it's elementary school.
Yeah.
But she's made for that job.
Awesome.
She worked in the church before college, helping her mother, and they did a daycare thing at church.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's
So
kids are
you've-
perfect.
Good. Excellent. It's always nice when your
gosh,
kids flourish, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And I think they married some really wonderful men that are well off.
Yeah.
The one gentleman, my eldest daughter, his family has 3 restaurants, and they're all up Minnesota and stuff.
Very ambitious and entrepreneurial.
Yeah. And he's been great for her. So
Good.
I'm happy.
Good.
Every day he wants his daughters to marry a good man and their son to marry, just a woman like their mother.
Yeah.
And I'm happy for that. So,
That's great.
Yeah. It's
So
nice
good.
when you don't have to worry about your kids.
Yeah, absolutely. I was curious what you thought about Joppa's plan to do a tiny home village. Have you heard? I assume that you heard about it.
Yep. I think it's a great thing. And being that they can see, one thing that did help me, I got those little heaters and then a propane tank.
They brought them to you while you were
once
homeless.
a week.
Yeah.
Yep. And we'd meet somewhere and then distribute it. And then I'd take the empty tank back with me, and it lasts about a week usually. Mm-hmm. If you maintained it right, didn't keep it on all the time, just when it got cold.
Yeah.
And Yeah, it's a wonderful thing. It saves a lot of people's lives.
Yeah.
Because there's people out there that actually froze to death.
Yep, there is.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
It's terrible.
Yeah. So this tiny home village will help some of the chronic homeless people
Yes.
have community and have people checking in with him and
Yes.
have a roof over their head, which is fantastic.
Oh, yeah. And they'll be together, being able to help each other out and stuff. I know when I was out there, I stayed at church, and I know a lot of those people that stayed in camps, a lot of trouble happened out there between them. You know?
Yeah, that can be scary.
You know, people leaving their tent and getting stuff stolen, and you know, it just wasn't a good situation. So I'm hoping if they have somebody that living in one of those buildings, they put it's ahead of the
Right. Yeah.
group or whatever.
It's managed.
Administrator. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
I think that'll work.
Yeah, it seems like there's models throughout the country that are proving to be very effective.
Oh, yeah.
And they have the system set up where, you know, some of the residents are able to work for their rent, and then they have volunteers that live on site sometimes even. So, yeah, it seems like a good thing, and that Des Moines could benefit from it. You've indicated that your life is good now. What does your days look like now? How are you?
Well, I'm retired, so I can do about anything I want. I go to the senior center. I got a lot of friends through there. And I can just get in my car and jump in my car and go and do whatever I want. So
That's
I haven't
great.
been fishing yet, but I'm getting ready to go soon. So
Go fishing?
yeah.
All right.
And I'm planning on finding me a nice lady now to start dating. Yeah, I think I'm ready. So
All right. Yes.
I'm lonely. So, but not so lonely that I can't live with myself. You know, I'm happy with myself.
A good balance,
And my
right?
little dog, she's everything. So
Aw, that's
I
great.
wish you guys could see her. She's a gorgeous little dog.
So it sounds like you have a good community. Is that how important do you think that is for how you're doing now?
Oh yeah, it's like having an accountability partner. You know,
Yeah.
it's having somebody there. And Mel Crowley, he volunteers down there at Joppa too.
Okay.
And he actually goes to my church, Northwest Community of Christ.
Okay.
And I see him a lot too. We trade going back and forth to each other's house and doing different things together. And we have a community at Valley West Apartments, and they just bought a 75-inch TV, and I can stream sports games, movies, whatever.
Nice.
So we have our little get-togethers on holidays and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like.
Well, I'm really grateful that you came and told your story about being homeless and just we wanted to convey how, you know, these people on the streets have stories and have lives just like you.
Yeah, and I want them to hear it too, because, you know, a lot of them, I know went through hard stuff too and been turned down, certain things. Just don't give up hope, you know, and you'll get to a point, I hope that you don't have to hurt bad enough and end up dying first. You know? But sometimes people will take a lot of punishment before they get to the point where I need to straighten my life out.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
I'm glad Joppa and other organizations were there
my
for
gosh,
you.
Yes. And like I said, I don't know what I'd done if they wouldn't have reached out. I had a social service lady in the hospital
Okay.
that actually came to me and helped me take care of my business outside there. And she tried to do some things for me. She couldn't come up with nothing.
Really?
And then I mentioned Joppa, and she notified them. And since they knew me and knew that I was going to lose everything, and here I am fighting this cancer. And I mean, it got to a point, my blood pressure at one time was 50/30. I fell out. It's like I died and came back to life. And if they wouldn't have been there for me, and I needed a place to go to heal and recover afterwards.
Right.
And I've been healing for the last 5 years, and I'm walking after getting hit by that car. And
Wow.
And that's, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned it, but that's how I got my teeth. So these are implants, and they're very nice. Yeah. But I was at a point where my muscles and scar tissue and everything in my throat, I had such a hard time swallowing.
Yes.
That I almost had to have these. You know, you can't put a price on quality of life.
Yeah, so it's not just about looking good for the show. It's about the function of it, right?
It's about the function more than the show. But I'm glad I look better.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's really nice to be able to see you
well,
come.
you're happier when you can smile. And before I couldn't smile. And it was like I had a frown on my face all the time. And people didn't even realize, they thought I was just an old crab. And I think I'm the same person, but it's so nice just to, I can laugh at myself, smile at myself, and it affects other people too. They're more happier.
Yes.
If everybody's smiling at each other and laughing about things, I mean, isn't it more joyful?
It is. They say that like the easiest kindness you can do for anybody is to smile.
And the most healing thing is to laughter, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I think that's why I'm doing good too. I'm laughing a lot. So.
It is great to see you laughing.
It is.
You've overcome so much.
Oh gosh, yes. and sometimes at first I was worried about what people thought. And it's got to a point where I think I'm a lot more outgoing now because I want my story to get out there because my story is like I'm a lot like a lot of those other homeless people.
Yes.
It's just I wish I could, grab a couple of them and shake the sense into them, But your life's going to be so much better when you quit using drugs. It will.
Yeah.
Just all the way around.
100%.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's
and
good to have
that's why they call addiction. It lies to you,
Right. Yes, absolutely. Well, it's good to have a helping hand along the way as well. I don't know anybody.
Helping me, yes. Accountability.
I don't think anybody goes without needing one in their life at some point, right?
When you go exercise, usually somebody has an exercise partner, somebody spot for them in their weightlifting.
Right.
And it's kind of like accountability thing. Like a couple of people want to lose weight, so they're helping each other. Mm-hmm. That's true about everything, I think. And I got that help when I needed it.
Well, it's really nice to hear your story and how much you've overcome and accomplished. And I'm glad Joppa was there for you.
Yep, I'm glad I got a better relationship with God now. And that's probably what God works through people. I know that. But that's what give it a jump start. Getting my life right with God, you just bam, things started clicking and happening.
Give you purpose.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Gave me purpose.
Yeah.
And I want to do more than I'm doing now.
That's awesome. I love that. I love it.
Hopefully I can.
Yeah, I bet you will.
That's something. And I need to be a nice accountability partner, ladies out there. Yeah, I thought I'd be funny and laugh at myself.
Yes,
There's a lot of people getting a laugh out of this.
Maybe we can turn this into a dating show.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Or bachelorette.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Well, Terry, thanks so much for the conversation. I really appreciate it.
And it's nice to be able to be humorous and just not, it just is.
Absolutely.
I feel so much more freer now. Yeah.
Well, nice work, because I know it's work.
And I want to thank all the people out there that, the nonprofit people that give to this organization. And I wanted to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Listeners, if you've enjoyed this conversation and want to learn more about Joppa, please visit joppa.org. That's JOPPA.org. And visit us at giveandgrowdsm.com for updates and future episodes.